Thank you, English. Book 31. David and Bathsheba. David became king. Oh? David saw Bathsheba while taking a walk. She was very beautiful. Huh? Make her husband die on the battlefield. David ended up doing a bad thing. David married Bathsheba. God knew everything and said,
David, because you killed a man, the same thing will happen in your house. I was wrong. Please forgive me.
David saw his error. God forgave David. Thank you, English. Book 32. Solomon met God in a dream. David made his son Solomon king. Solomon worshipped God with all his heart. In a dream, God came to him and said,
Tell me what you want.
Huh? Guess what Solomon said? Give me the wisdom to rule people well. God liked his answer.
I will give you wisdom. You will be the wisest man in the world. And I'll give you other things too.
Solomon thanked God. Solomon became a very strong king. Thank you, English. Book 33. Solomon's Wisdom. Two women came to see Solomon. One of them said, "We live in the same house." We both gave birth to a baby. She lay on the baby while sleeping. And her baby died. But she switched the baby. Another woman shouted, "She is lying!" Solomon thought for a moment and said,
Cut the baby in two and give half to each of them.
The real mother said,
No! Give her the baby!
Solomon found the real mother. And he gave the baby back. Thank you, English. Book 34. Jonah ran away. God called Jonah.
Huh? Go to Nineveh.
Huh?
Go and shout that I will judge them.
But Jonah got on the boat and ran away. Then there was a big storm. Jonah told the sailors,
If you throw me into the sea, it will calm down.
God sent a big fish to swallow Jonah. The belly of the fish was dark. Jonah prayed to God for 3 days.
God, I was wrong. I will do what you said.
Then the fish spit Jonah on the ground. Thank you, English. Book 35. The Forgiven Nineveh. Jonah kept his promise with God. He shouted around the castle all day long.
After 40 days, the castle will fall!
People were surprised. The king of Nineveh gave orders. Do not eat and do not drink. Do not feed animals too. Also, take off nice clothes. And pray to God. The people of Nineveh prayed honestly. Did the city of Nineveh fall? God forgave them. And He gave them another chance. Thank you, English. Book 36. Elijah raised the widow's son. Elijah was a prophet of God. God said to him,
Go to a widow. Eat and sleep at her house.
the widow was very poor. But she shared the last food with Elijah. Then the flour and oil didn't run out. One day, the widow's son fell ill and died. Elijah said, "Bring the child to me." He laid the child on the bed and prayed. Let the child's soul return to the body. Then the child came to life. The widow was so happy. Thank you, English. Book 37. Fire from Heaven. King Ahab and the queen were bad people. They served a fake god. Elijah said to King Ahab, "Let's find out who the real God is." Many people gathered on the hill. The real God will bring down the fire. Elijah said to the people, First, the people who served a fake god prayed aloud. But nothing happened. This time, Elijah prayed. Then, the fire came down from heaven. People have come to know who is the real God. Thank you, English. Book 38. Elijah taken to heaven. Elijah had many followers. Among them, Elisha followed Elijah to the end. Now, let's break up here. Even if Elijah said so, Elisha did not leave. There was the Jordan River in front. When Elijah hit the water with his coat, it split. They crossed the river safely.
What do you want?
Elijah asked.
Huh? I want to have more power than you. If you see me lifting to heaven, you will receive the power you asked.
A fire chariot came down from heaven. And Elijah went up by a strong wind into heaven.
My father!
Elisha cried. Elisha received great power. And he served God very hard. Thank you, English. Book 39. The General Naaman. Naaman was a brave general.
Oh!
But he was very sick. He had bad skin because of sickness. Naaman heard that Elisha has the power to cure. So he went to see Elisha with money and gifts. But Elisha didn't meet Naaman.
Huh?
Elisha sent someone and said, "Go to the Jordan and wash 7 times."
Huh?
Naaman was very angry. But he did what Elisha said. Then his skin became clean like a child. God healed Naaman. Thank you, English. Book 40. King Hezekiah's Prayer. King Hezekiah was ill. The prophet Isaiah came and said to the king,
God said you will surely die.
King Hezekiah was very sad. He cried and prayed to God.
Please remember my good works.
Huh? God spoke to Isaiah on his way home.
I saw your tears. I have heard your prayer. I will heal you.
He told the word of God to the king. Hezekiah lived for 15 more years. Thank you, English.